Good morning, my Rosalynds and Rosikins. Mother's back. And in this video, I'm going to talk about my debt free journey. Okay, so I'm hoping that this inspires some of you ladies to take it upon yourself to up your wealth game by getting out of debt because it's very important. I also want to disclaim that part of the reason that I feel that I was able to do this is because I made a lot of sacrifices, and I'm going to go into it. Okay. 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 So, my Rosalynds and Rosikins, try to keep up when I tell the story. So, we're going to start in the year 2016 when Mother officially started her private university college journey, right? This university cost me, or colleges, say this college cost me 50K a school year. Okay. I also had room and board, and it was nice, and meals. So I have room, board, and meals. It was a private college, a PWI to be specific, and it was in a nice location. It's a beautiful campus, and so I had a scholarship, and my scholarship was taking care of about 75%, if not a little bit more, each like school year. And so each school year, I would only have to take out 5K of loans at the most. And so I would get like Pell Grants and whatnot to help take care of my education. I owe it to me being very intelligent and getting good grades in high school. And my mother, before orientation, and when we were supposed to like meet like the staff and view the campus before all the other upperclassmen got back on campus, for the freshmen, she was advocating to a registrar and financial aid office at the college to like please like grant us the best scholarships and whatnot and resources we can use. So I thank my mother for that as well. And so basically, here's the picture: 50K a school year, attended 4 years, equals 200K, right? And then I had to like pay for my books and stuff, but I got jobs while I was a full time student. So yeah, that helped too. But basically, that pays for my education, my school year, right? 200K. And then my student loan debt equaled 23,000. And so if you do the math, 200K divided by 23,000 would be 8.69. And we can round it up to about 10%. So I basically went to college for free, basically, but did not. But I thank God, oh, thank you, that it only ended up being about 10% I had to pay back because it could have been way worse, you guys, which I'm sure we're all tracking in regards to that. So I started college 2016, graduated with my secondary education and Bachelor of the Arts in English. So I graduated 2020 and went straight into teaching. So within those 4 years, 5K a semester plus interest, I had $23,000 worth of student loans. It took me 4 years to pay that off. Now, I could have paid it off sooner, I'll be honest. However, I got caught up into Amway, and I also got scammed with Bitcoin within like my first year out. Even before I got fully out, I got bamboozled with that. And then my second year to teaching, I get bamboozled with Amway. So first it was Bitcoin, then it was Amway. And that total loss of being scammed cost me about 10K total, I'm going to say. And so that could have taken care of half of my student loans at least. I also want to add that while I was in school, what helped me pay off that total was that I did Teach for America, not Teach for America, why am I saying that? I'm sorry. I did a teaching program, and Breakthrough Collaborative is what it's called because, I studied to be a teacher at the time. So it's partnered with AmeriCorps. And what they gave me was like a scholarship, so about 1,600. So I put that towards my student loans. So that left me with like about 20K left before I even graduated, right? And so that totaled to 20K that I had within those 4 years to pay off. So if I would calculate correctly, I would have had 5K a year that I could have done it, right? But for me, I just like really stocked up on saving. I started investing and I was still paying off student loans, but I also moved into my own apartment. I got my first job working as a teacher. I was sitting at like 50K. I was so happy. I was so feeling myself. And the sacrifice that I chose to make, though, because I had to be able to support myself, I had my own apartment, all that stuff, is that I didn't have a car. So I do believe that because I sacrificed not having a car, even right now, I still don't have a car. And I said to myself, I said, either go into debt for a car and make my debt bigger, or I could prioritize paying off the student loans and walk. And so I chose to walk. And so I'm debt free officially now in 2024 at the age of 25. I'm turning 26 in November 17th. November 17th. Sorry, I was hesitating. Sorry. I'm like, shit, tell them my birthday, yeah, November 17th. And of course, I'm a Scorpio gang gang. Um, I'm so excited. So this year I was able to pay off completely because I took my bonus I got when I joined the military, and a portion of my bonus I put on my student loan debt. And then finishing off all of my debts, right? So I say all this to say that when you are on your debt free journey, you have to make sacrifices. So I realized that a lot of my peers said, fuck walking. Okay, I'm gonna get my car, I'm going to debt for it, right? I paid off within like 4 or 5 years. Good for y'all. I'm not one of those. I was already stressed with my student loans. And then now, looking at the economy, looking at all this stuff, it's a lot going on. Like, even now, I'm going on deployment, as you guys know, in November to Kuwait. And then the main thing, though, is Syria. I'm going to Syria. So for me, this gave me a chance to stack up my money and hopefully reach one of my financial goals. I'm also going to be making a video very soon dedicated to me achieving one of the biggest goals I've ever had and being halfway to the ultimate goals I set for myself financially in my investments. And I cannot wait to share my progress because I, at 25, have paid off $23,000 worth of my student loans. I'm officially debt free. I don't have a car yet, but that's okay. I'm debt free, and that's the main priority. Right now, I'm working on my emergency fund. I remember Exalcos United, she said that every pretty girl should have at least 5K in her emergency fund because you never know what's going to happen. And so that's my goal, between the end of this year and the end of next year. But by the end of next year, to have at least 5K in an emergency fund and to up my investments, and to max out my Roth and my TSP, right? Roth IRA and Roth TSP. So for me, you know, I'm kind of behind in regards to having a car, but it's not the end of the world for me because I know I'm making money moves and I'm getting shit done even without a car. So I feel proud. I feel proud of myself that I had enough discipline to not take the money that I made for my bonuses and would join the military and to not like spend all my money on frivolous shit and be like in more debt with credit cards and shit and having car payments and shit. I'm so serious. Mother is not the type to stress over money. I do not like to feel like I'm lacking. I am abundantly blessed and I believe in prioritizing what's important. And the first thing for me is getting out of debt, right? My basic needs are met in the military. So I said, hey, go big or go home at this point. But I made it. 25 years old, no debt. Next thing is your emergency fund. And I'm going to talk about this in another video. But, I talked about Dave Ramsey before and how, he talks about getting out of debt. And that was one of the things that lit a fire under my belt, if I'm being honest. Listening to Dave Ramsey and talking about student loans and interest and all that stuff, I said, hell to the no, I don't want the problems. So I said, okay, I don't want to be broke at 30. Let me pay this off before it keeps piling up money. Because you know how compound interest happens when you invest. And as your investment grows and the interest grows, it doubles your money, it triples your money, etc., quadruples your money over time. Same thing with debt. If you continue not to pay on that shit will go down. And what I will say is that I got extremely blessed. I'm not going to hold you guys because during the COVID shutdown, y'all remember student loans was paused for a good 3 years, 2 to 3 years. And that allowed me to stack up my money as a teacher and like prioritize like my health, getting into shape, my fitness, and like taking care of myself as an independent young lady, period. So I'm not new to this, I'm true to this, but I believe that my 20s are my year to build wealth. They are to set in stone what is going to happen later on in your life that will continue to bring blessings upon the plants and garden that you have, you know, planted and grown and sown, the seeds you've grown in your 20s. I believe 20s are your foundation years, okay? You know, your teenage years are your learning years, your 20s are your foundation years. It's when you set the motion of how you want to live your life. Do you want to live a healthy life? Do you want to live a wealthy life? Do you want to live a poor life? Do you want to live undisciplined, fat, sick life? You know? It's just so many things that I think about when it comes down to my debt journey and like what really propelled me. I realized that I wanted to be a millionaire. I realized that, yeah, I tried Amway, I tried selling, didn't go well. I tried Bitcoin and trusting one person with my information. Yeah, shame on me. I got fucked over. Okay. And I used to beat myself up so much because of it. But now what I realized is I learned a valuable lesson. I'd rather have been a fool starting off than a fool later after I built my empire. You get what I'm saying? And not to say that any of you have to go through this, but I'm letting you know, just be careful of scammers. They're literally everywhere. Baby, I'm going to tell you this if nobody else tells you. The best person to grow your wealth is you. The best person that's going to make the best financial situations for yourself is you. All these people telling you they know how to help you, they give you all this information, they can help grow your money. Don't believe them. Believe what makes sense to you. Believe what God leads you to do. Believe which spirit leads you to do, your ancestors, your spiritual team, your angels, all that, right? For me, when I decided to take my financial life into my own hands and was accountable to myself and like my goals financially, is when everything changed for me, you know? And I thank God that I got some goddamn sense when I had it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'd rather be a young fool that learns so that I can grow rich than to be an old fool that learns after I've been rich and lose it all, right? And I realized that one thing that people don't tell you that they should is when you're on your millionaire journey, it's not about greed. You cannot be so greedy that you are trying to get rich quick. True wealth takes time, and that's okay. And I know a lot of exoticals can literally, literally relate to this. A lot of people in general actually can relate to this, but especially the exotic community, because I like, you know, being in the Discord, I talk to the exoticals about finances at times. And true wealth, it takes time. You can't just wake up one day and you're rich, especially if you start from the bottom up. Okay. People like Blue Ivy, people like Northwest, you know, they could do that. But their parents, Jay-Z, Beyonce, Kim, Kanye, all those people, at some point they didn't have what they have now. It took time. Unless you're born into it, it will take time. Sometimes it takes only like a couple years. Others it takes decades. Whatever your pace, baby, you're gonna get there. And the truth is, only a few people actually can attest to even being millionaires in retirement. Could attest to even retiring early by like 50. You know what I'm saying? They're even saying that we're going to, our generation, Gen Z, is going to be retiring in their 70s. That's what they want us to do, retire later, even later than like 65, 50, 55, right? So 55 is still retiring early, baby. You're still winning. My thing is work an honest life, live an honest life, work an honest job. You know, so don't be ashamed that you know you only take a certain amount of your money every month and put it into your investments. At least you're doing that. Some people they don't have money to put into investments because they're in the negatives. And I've been there, done that. You know, I still put stuff in investments, but I should have cleared out my debt first, then went all in. You know what I'm saying? But I still thank God that I put something away because it grew. You know what I'm saying? So for me, all I'm trying to say, my Roslins and Rosikins, especially my Roslins, pay off your debt, baby. Pay it off. Stop using your credit cards. If you have student loan bills and student loan debt, take care of that shit, bro. Get you an emergency fund, right? And get yourself together. Get in the mindset. If you're in your 20s listening to this, your 20s should be about being debt free and building up your investments and your retirement accounts and your emergency savings, right? Those are your main goals. You're not here to stunt on nobody. There's someone said before, your 30s or your 20s, but with money. And that's how I think about my future, right? My 20s is a piece of humble pie, but my 30s is, baby, I'm on it. You know what I'm saying? It's not the struggle bus. At least I hope it's not, which I definitely am rebuking. Okay. But yes, please, I encourage you, pay off that debt and you're gonna sleep so much better at night and you're gonna feel richer than rich because you don't owe anybody anything. The only person you owe anything to is yourself, and that's on God. So with that, I love you, my Roslins and Rosikins. I hope you guys have a splendid weekend and day, and I'm debt free.